What's up, guys? I got the keys here back with another video. So, I'm sure if you're here, you're somebody that's always looking for signs or some external validation outside of you. Well, I'm here to tell you that actually, if you're looking for signs, you're actually not in alignment, okay? Because the problem here is we're looking for something external rather than making a sovereign choice of what we want to do, right? So, we look for angel numbers, we look for, the next tarot reading, we look for, the next energy clearing or, whatever, right? Or the next psychedelic medicine retreat or whatever to decide and make our choice. But what if you just made the choice instead of having to wait for something outside of you to tell you to make the choice, right? And I'm not saying that angel numbers and tarot readings and stuff don't work and they're not real. I'm simply saying that if you're constantly looking to these things to validate what you've been feeling and um looking for them as signs, then you are not in alignment, okay? Because you are breaking out of your own sovereign choice and saying, hey, well, if this tarot reader doesn't tell me that I should make that choice, I'm not going to. But what are you feeling? What is your internal decision on this? Who do you want to be? Not what somebody else tells you what you are, right? um and angel numbers, right, these are simply signs of you being in that frequency already, right? So it's like you're not looking for these numbers to tell you something's coming or that whatever, right? It's telling you what frequency you are in. So, um when you see 111, you're in a frequency of a new beginning, a new self, a new you, right? When you are in seeing like 888, right, you're in the wealth frequency, you are in the frequency of abundance, okay? It's not saying, oh, money's coming always, right? That could happen, but um it's more of a state of being, right? So yes, they are signals to you, but they're not signs of you know how to make your choice or something's coming always, right? And so we want to start looking at these things as simply markers in the field, right? These are basically like little symbols that we have left behind for ourselves or our team of light, which is still us, okay? They are simply leaving a trail of breadcrumbs for us, right, as we go along to remind us, hey, you're on track, right? But we're not looking to this for validation. We're just simply looking at it as it comes, right? We're just observing the numbers as they come. We're not trying to find every meaning behind every one. We're not trying to decipher what it means. We're not trying to do any of that because trust me, guys, I did this for a long time. Um, and it gets old and it doesn't solve anything, and you're just looking for something to validate how you already feel. And you already know what choice you should make, right? You have an internal compass that tells you, hey, this is the right way. And it's usually how you feel about something, right? Um, so if something gives you anxiety, it tells you it's not in alignment with you. If something gives you depression, it tells you it's not in alignment with you. Okay. If something gives you joy, that tells you you are in alignment. Okay. If something gives you peace, that tells you you are in alignment. Okay. Um, Also, actions are your biggest sign. Okay. I've said this before. The actions that you take show you who you are being. Okay. Um, so again, if you're working out, the signs would be that you are working out. Okay. You want to be healthy. You want to be fit. You want to be, you want your body to be taken care of. Right. So you start working out, you start eating good. So actions are your biggest actual sign that you are being the person. Okay. It's again, we don't want to search constantly outside for things to tell us what to do. Okay. We want to listen to our own intuition, our own soul, and our, highest self in every moment. And that's not always easy, right? We have the ego always yapping away, right? And it tells you to do this and do that. And, oh, we shouldn't do that because this could happen. But your higher self knows the way. Even if it seems absurd, sometimes we have to follow what our soul is telling us. Okay. And that speaks in the terms of feelings. Okay. So that is your compass of where you should go. Now, can source talk through your mind? Yes. It'll be that silent voice that is encouraging you, that is positive, that is saying, hey, we can do this, right? um and then you have the ego, which is always the one that's yapping away and saying the negative side of things, which um then it's not that it's bad, right? It's just simply like your protection mechanism. It's trying to protect the body. It's trying to make sure you're safe. So it will try to put fear in the way so that you don't do things because it could hurt you, or whatever. So again, we don't want to get stuck in signs. We want to make our own sovereign choices. We are our own sovereign beings. Stop relying on astrological planets and alignments and Mercury retrograde. Like, it's none of, like, yes, maybe this stuff affects us a little bit, right? But this is not going to control your choices. You are the author of your life. Okay. These things are simply tools to kind of get a feel for where energies are at, but that's it. The rest of it is you. Okay. Um, and you forget that even those planets are you. Okay. Everything is consciousness. Therefore, we are all I am. And I am is everything. Okay. Um, so we want to come back into that sovereign wholeness, that we are a whole being and we are on the trajectory no matter what the world shows us. We are on the timeline to be the person we want to be. Okay. Um, the outer world is just your reflection. So it could be a past self, from a few days ago or from a few years ago, even, right? Manifestations can take different times depending on what it is and how much you focused on it. So you will get everything. It's just a matter of, when you've fully embodied that version of yourself is when they will start showing up, right? Um, and it doesn't always happen all at once, right? So there's things that'll come in, and then things that will fall away, and then things that will come in, things that will fall away, and eventually you'll have a better concept of how this stuff works, right? So again, actions tell you everything. So pay attention to those. What do you do every day? How do you start your mornings? How do you end your nights? So what are you doing throughout the day to, go towards your goals, to make things happen, right? Um because I've heard this before, a lot of people would just tell you, just imagine it, and just feel it, and just do this and that. But here's the thing is, we're still living in a physical world, guys. There still has to be actions taken. Okay. Yes, imagining works. Yes, all of that stuff works, but it needs to be applied to the physical world. Okay. So you can imagine it, but take steps towards it, right, as you're imagining it. Okay. Um, and you can imagine all day. Like, it doesn't have to be just in a meditation. You can do it while you're doing the dishes, or while you're cleaning the house, or while you're driving, or, I mean, obviously pay attention to the road, right? But um, it's important that we actually take initiative into the world. Okay. So with that being said, if you are ready to embody that version of yourself, hit me up in the description for a one-on-one consultation, and all that, details are down there. So all you have to do is send me an email with your name and a short description of what you're going through, and we'll set it up. Okay. I will see you guys in the next video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Peace.